Hey everybody, welcome to The Conversation with Kelley. I'm your host, Kelley Hall, and I'm so excited about, first of all, having you guys subscribe to my channel and check me out and see what I have going on. This is the start of my talk show, and again, I'm just really excited about what we're going to be doing here. Different conversations, of course, different stories that I'm going to share, and I look forward to sharing with you all. So if you haven't already, go ahead and subscribe. Thumbs up the videos that you see on here and let other people know about Conversations with Kelley. Now today I have the pleasure of interviewing my dear friend Jennifer. Hi. And Jennifer is here with us today to share her amazing story of overcoming drug addiction. Drug addiction, and overdose is the leading cause of accidental deaths in the U.S. with 52,404 lethal drug overdoses in 2015. So, and that's according to ASAM. That's the American Society of Addiction and Medicine. So that's a little fact about drug overdose and how it affects many different Americans, and of course anyone all over the world that has any type of addictions to drugs. So Jennifer, I'm excited that you're here.
Thank you.
And I just want to thank you also for being so brave, to share your story. Because seriously, it really takes bravery to sit here. Some people don't ever want to admit it. And I know a few people that we talked to was like, what? She's actually, sharing her story? Like, I'm shocked. And I just have to commend you, for being brave and for coming out of your shell and talking about it. So
I'm excited to be here.
Thank you. Now I do want to say, even though we are here to share Jennifer's story and really get into the depths of drug overdose and what it can do to you and how it's affected her life, I actually have a little surprise for her. It's nothing huge, but I have Nada here with me, and she has an IG, her Instagram channel, her Instagram page, which is Style by Nada. I hope did I get that right? All right. And she's here to bless Jennifer with some different options and different clothing that she has. So Nada, I would like for you to come on over. I'm actually gonna stand up and I'm gonna put you on the spot.
That's fine.
I want you to just tell us a little bit about what you do.
So my name is Nada, and I am a stylist who also has a personal story of overcoming hardship and adversity. And so my goal in life is to help women look beautiful without spending a ton of money. So I have a line of clothing that I buy from thrift stores. I buy them in bulk and I sell them on my Instagram page, Styled by Nada, STYLEDBYNAIDA, and I'm here to bless you with a slight makeup.
Cry already.
So should we get her dressed?
I think we should go ahead and get her dressed.
Okay.
We'll be right back, you guys, after she goes through the clothing and sees whatever it is she wants today.
Yeah.
Let's get started. So welcome back. We just had a wonderful style segment with Style by Nada, and Jennifer picked out some awesome clothes. This is one of the outfits that she picked out, and I'll put some behind the scenes pictures up on my Instagram channel, our Instagram page as well, of the whole process. So what do you think of what you got?
I'm so excited. I'm not very good at I'm not a stylist at all, so to play dress up like that and to find things that fit to make me feel pretty, that felt good.
Good.
So, thank you.
Well, I'm glad that you enjoyed that. So we want to get a little bit more into the interview segment of it all, and again, Jennifer is here to talk about a very serious subject and something that should be brought to light, which is drug addiction. And it happens in, it's not one race, it's not one gender, drug addiction can affect anybody, and honestly, this day and age that we live in, it can affect anybody of any age as well. I've heard of stories of 13-year-olds on up being addicted to drugs. So I wanted to get into this, and I wanted to know if you're comfortable with talking about your childhood a little bit. You know, I know, of course, the addiction didn't start there, but just tell me a little bit about you and your background, where you're from, and where you grew up.
So I'm from Massachusetts. I tell everybody I'm from Boston. I'm really not, but that's just like the landmark in Massachusetts that everybody knows. I'm originally from Quincy, Mass, and it was me and my sister growing up, and then my father and my mother both got clean in the 80s from, so drug addiction runs rampant in my family, basically. So my father got clean first.
And what was he?
He was a heroin addict.
Heroin addict, okay.
He was a heroin addict. He got clean in 86, and then he was diagnosed with HIV not too long after that, and then my mom, you know, decided to get clean on St. Patrick's Day of 87.
Okay.
Not to be putting her stuff out there, but she's open. She's just as open about her history as well.
Yeah.
So I don't remember my parents using or anything.
Right.
I was 3 years old, and then, you know, 5 years later, my dad passed away.
Okay.
He ended up with the pneumonia, the PCP.
Okay.
Pneumococcal pneumonia. It's one of the complications. So he passed away, and then my mom remarried and married my stepdad, Stephen, and they ended up having my two brothers. So it's me and my sister, and then my two brothers. We ended up moving to Cape Cod, Falmouth, Massachusetts. I believe I was like in 5th grade. So like I don't remember my parents using. I don't remember any of that stuff.
Okay.
I do remember going to a lot of NA meetings, Narcotics Anonymous meetings.
Okay.
I did grow up
So
in
your
the
mom was
halls
still
of
in that
Narcotics
process.
Anonymous.
She was still in that process of getting free or clean.
Yep.
Okay.
So then we had my brothers, and we moved to the Cape. And then, you know, my stepdad, he struggled for years. So then I did, you know, me and my brothers and my sister did end up seeing firsthand what it was like to have addiction in front of us. And it was rough for a little bit. And then we had all been diagnosed with Lyme disease. So we all struggled with a family illness, all 6 of us.
Okay. What is Lyme disease exactly?
It's a disease that's carried by a deer tick.
Oh, wow.
And it's I guess it's pretty, not rampant, but it's well known up north.
So what exactly happens to you?
If you get a tick bite, you end up with like a bullseye rash from the tick bite. The complications from Lyme disease is like mental stuff. Okay. There's digestive issues. There's all sorts of stuff.
And how long did that last?
We ended up on treatment for Lyme disease. All 6 of us had IVs, PICC lines in our arms.
Wow.
I think my stepdad had one in his arm for about 9 months. I had one in each arm. So we all did like IV treatments together in the morning. It was the weirdest thing. But, so anyway, that really has nothing to do.
It's okay. You're good.
It's just my childhood was, I guess, different. Okay. You know, we went to meetings with my parents. Eventually, my mom and my dad ended up opening up 2 recovery houses for men, 2 sober houses. There were 15 guys in each house. Those houses were open for almost 20 years. And I don't know. Anyway, my childhood was good. My parents did everything that they could for us.
Okay.
You know?
So overall, you would say you had a pretty good childhood, because for one, you did not remember, you know, your mother using, and all you saw was really her recovery process, which is a good step of her taking, and then you had another man step in to help parent you. Basically. So overall, that's, you know, still a decent childhood, and nothing to complain about. So in a sense, more than what some people have, because some people don't have that stepfather to step into their lives. So who introduced you to drugs, or who would you say introduced you to drugs, and then what type of drugs was it?
So the first drug that I was introduced to was weed, pot. It was friends in high school. So I had smoked pot a couple times.
Okay.
And it really wasn't my thing. It was, I guess I was just in sort of a rebellious stage. I just wanted to experiment a little bit.
Right.
And then I experimented with ecstasy later on in high school.
And what was that like?
That really wasn't. It was more like it was just experimenting
So
for
just
me.
Try and get like
But
one
they
time.
do consider weed or drugs like that the gateway drug.
Okay.
You know, so it opens the floodgates for if there's addiction,
Okay.
like there was in my family. It opens the floodgates for it to get worse. You know,
Okay.
so that I do believe ended up happening. And my parents tried everything in their willpower to try and get me not
Right.
to do that stuff.
Of course.
So,
Yeah.
and then, you know, going to college, I drank. I drank a lot. A lot. I was a blackout drinker,
Oh wow.
which is,
So
you know,
you
that's
drank
not
to the
normal,
point
I
of
guess.
passing out.
Yeah, my first time drinking, I blacked out. I was at a Dave Matthews Band concert with a couple friends, and I actually never made it into the concert.
Wow.
I ended up passing out in the car.
Oh yeah.
That wasn't fun.
Right. I'm sure that was an experience to wake up and not really know. Like, did you know where you were, or did you remember?
I kind of did, and I was more afraid of getting in trouble. I did not want my parents to find
Right.
out that I had done that. So.
Yeah. We've all had those moments, may not being with the blackouts, but still. But I understand. And so when did the drugs actually come in?
College.
Okay.
So I was drinking. I was visiting a friend's school, and the party that I was at with the lacrosse team and a couple of friends, they had a mirror, like a full-length mirror, and it was just cut with all sorts of different powders.
Wow.
So it was like Adderall, and I guess some of it was cocaine. So I ended up sniffing cocaine my first time, and I was drunk. So that just, and from that point on, it was like every weekend I wanted to do that. And that was my junior year of college. And I had been on the dean's list. I worked 2 full-time jobs, you know. I was doing really good for myself. I was personal training.
Wow.
But yeah, cocaine was my first drug
Okay, so cocaine
of choice.
All right. And so when you first tried cocaine, I don't want to really take you back to, you know, what, you know, the high or the feeling of it, but what do you remember what was going through your mind? Because you know, for someone that has never tried it, I really can't imagine what that's like. But there's something, of course, in it that causes you to get addicted. So do you remember what that experience was actually like when you tried it?
It was just euphoric, I guess I could say. It gave me energy. I stayed up and I could drink more. It really, I don't know. It was just that I knew then that was the drug that I had found at that time, like my love. That was nothing else mattered after I had found that.
Wow. Did you feel empowered? Because I'm not sure how that, when you were using, do you feel empowered when you're using that for that time period?
Like nothing else matters,
Wow.
basically. It's just, for me, as a drug addict, it was nothing. That was coming first.
Okay.
That ended up becoming, it came before my jobs, it came before schoolwork, it came before my family, it came before everything else.
Okay, and so how did you go about getting cocaine? Was it like a sale, or was it, you know, like friends, parties?
So the first time I did it was at the party, it just happened to be there. And then the job that I had at the time, one of the customers that I worked at a dog track, and one of the customers there that I used to punch out bets for, because I was a teller, I had found out that he was a drug dealer.
Okay.
So I ended up just getting it from him. So I had found myself what they would call a plug, you know, my dealer, and that's who I used to get it from on the weekends. But that's how I went around getting it.
And so what was pretty much your attitude through life during that point in time while you were using? Like, I know nothing else mattered, but as far as, like, could you even still focus on any goals in life? I mean, what, was there anything in the forefront of your mind, or was it only the drugs?
It was just the drugs.
It was just the drugs. And, that was
And
it.
doing whatever I could to hide it from my family.
Okay.
So
So there was some type of knowing that it was wrong, or that you needed to stop.
Mhm.
All right, so we're still talking to Jennifer, and she is sharing her brave story about overcoming drug addiction. And we're just talking about how it was at the point when she started using, how honestly that's all that she cared about at that point was hiding it from her family. And I think what's important is knowing that other people can be empowered by your story. By no means is this anything to come against you, but it's an empowerment for other people. You never know, especially with the world of YouTube that we have. So many people will have access to the story, and they may be going through it at the time, but they'll know that they can overcome and come out of it, even if right now drugs is all that matters to them. But what stuck out to me is knowing that you actually still had a conscience in the back of your mind where you knew you had to hide it from your family. And so that's kind of amazing to me, because it almost says that a drug, no matter how much you have in your system, it can't win, because you still have that conscience, and God still gives you those thoughts to overcome, that you need to come out of this, because if you have to hide it, then you know it's not right.
Right.
And so let's just talk just a little bit more about the actual addiction phase. So did you lose friendships over having this addiction, and can you talk to me about that a little?
All right. Well, I mean, I struggled so that was back in like 2004 or 2003 is when it really started, and then it transitioned into other stuff. But yeah, I mean, but I sort of burnt the bridges that I had with friends or family. People started not to trust me. I was stealing from people. I was stealing from family. I was making promises and not being able to keep them, like saying that I would show up for my brother's baseball games or whatever, and then end up not making it, or holidays, barely making it to holidays, or wanting to leave early because I had other things on my agenda that I needed to go do, like go get high, because those things. So yeah, I definitely lost some friends, and lost the trust of friends and family due to it. So
what was your relationship with your mom like at that time when she saw you struggling, especially since she's been there before?
I think it was hard for her, because when I really started, when I started getting into smoking crack cocaine, I used to disappear. So I know that it used to scare my mother. She didn't know whether or not she was going to end up getting a phone call, because I was either dead, or a couple times she ended up getting phone calls from me, because I had landed myself in bad situations. So I know it scared her. I know she felt powerless over the situation, and even though she had been through it before, honestly, I don't think she really knew what she was able to do, except just let me hit my bottom and pray for me.
Right. Very true. And was there ever a point where you tried to stop but you just couldn't?
Yes. I remember that first summer, it was so hard. Like that, it just took control over me. I was just obsessed with it. That's all I thought about when I didn't have it. And the first time, I think I stayed clean for a couple weeks. I went to a program. My parents got me into a detox, and I didn't stay very long. I ended up leaving. I went right back to detox again. I mean, I've been to over 20 detoxes.
Wow.
So I would stay clean for a little bit. I think the longest span of time that I had clean was a little over a year. But now I've got Christmas will be 4 years coming up. So.
That is amazing. So I do want to, of course, talk about your period of freedom. So when did you stop, and how did you stop?
Okay, so I have my daughter, and I had met her father, and I found out that I was pregnant with her when I'd gone to detox. I found out I was pregnant with her, and I tried to stay clean, and then, I had slipped up for a couple weeks, and then I ended up going on like a 2-week binge.
During the pregnancy?
During the pregnancy. I was probably a little over 2 months pregnant, and it still really hadn't, it wasn't, what's the word?
Hit you? Or
Yeah, it hadn't hit me yet that, like, oh my goodness, like, I have a human being growing inside my body right now, and that, like, whatever I'm putting into my body, she is experiencing the effects as well, you know what I mean? So, like, I was using, and I would be getting sick immediately after I would use.
Wow.
And so I got to the point after about 2 weeks where I just wanted to die. I didn't care if I was pregnant. I didn't, I wanted to die. I didn't, because I couldn't stop. So I don't know exactly what happened. I just know that I woke up Christmas morning and I decided that I needed to give this a chance. Wow. You know what I mean? Something came over me, and I love it. I don't know how to explain it other than it was God just telling me you need to knock it off.
He was like, okay, listen, I've given you all these chances and I've put a life in you. It's time to wake up. Yep. That is absolutely amazing. And now you actually do have a great relationship, and you're with God. You've grown closer to Him throughout the years, right?
So not at first. Really, it was just in the last maybe 16 months when I had come back to South Carolina, and I had found a part-time job, and my boss at the time kept putting it, he had a Bible on his desk, and he just wanted to, minister to me for like 2 hours out of every work shift or whatever, and he kept saying, turn on TBN, Channel 51. So finally, one Sunday, I decided to turn on Channel 51, and I started listening. I heard Pastor Ron Carpenter. I don't know if you're familiar with him. And it was during his Misfit series that he did, and just something in me was like, I need to find out if he has a church near me. Yeah. So I Googled his church, and there was a campus 6 minutes up the road from where I was living, and like now I'm a member of that church. Like, I'm serving in the children's ministry. Wow,
that is so awesome. I love it. And you're an awesome mom to your daughter, and I know right now you two are staying in a women's shelter. And do you feel like you are, like, how what is that like for you right now in this period of your life?
It was hard at first, just knowing that I needed some sort of help. Like, I couldn't do it on my own. I wasn't able to support her just by myself with a part-time job. So I had waited 2 months to get into the shelter, and but like, I'm diligently, like, I still go to church. I'm still praying. Like, even my choice of music has changed. Wow. Like, that's all we listen to in the car. It's gone from Rich Homie Quan to praise and worship music. And my daughter's saying hallelujah with her hands in the air in the car. So like, I know God is doing something magnificent with my family, and I know that every generational curse is being broken by me going to church with my child. Like, I had her dedicated to the Lord, and I was baptized, and like, her dad's life is changing, and like, good things are happening.
Yes. And it's really because of, of course, God and speaking to you during that pregnancy, and you having the willpower and the bravery to come out of what you came out of, because it's not easy. There are some people that have been in it since you've been little and are still in it right now. So honestly, you're brave and you're bold, and you overcame. And I want to know, what would you say to anybody that's watching right now that may be struggling? Give them a message of hope. Give them something that they can hold on to. What would you tell somebody in your shoes, man or a woman?
Don't ever give up. That's one thing that I have deeply ingrained in me, is to never, ever, ever give up, and to pray. And that I love you, even if someone today hasn't told you that they love you. I love you. and God loves you. And our God is greater than any drug that you put into your body. He has the power you have the power in you to overcome that addiction. And all you have to do is give it a chance, ask for help, go to a detox, go to a hospital, do whatever you have to do in order to seek out the help that you need, and don't give up no matter what. That's all I can say.
I love it. I'm gonna get a tissue for you.
I'm sorry.
No, you're fine.
Thank you.
No, and thank you so much, because again, I truly believe that this is not a coincidence. I truly believe that God has placed it on my heart to share the stories of others, because this is empowering. This is for somebody. It might only be one person, Jennifer, but you're making a huge difference, and I just want to let you know that. You're in a transition home, if you will. You're in a shelter right now, but tell everybody what it is that you want to do yourself.
Me, myself, I want to help others. So, but my line, like what I want to be able to do is, I want to help girls who have been in the sex trafficking industry, and I want to help, and also with issues of drug addiction.
That's awesome.
That's what I want to do.
I absolutely,
because there is a way out.
Yeah, I absolutely love it. And there is a way out, and in due time, I plan on sharing my testimony as well of overcoming the things that God has allowed me to overcome. We all have a story, but what really matters the most is that God has brought us out of it and what He's going to do next. So this really for you is not the end. It's just the beginning of something even more beautiful. And I have some giveaways for the channel, you guys, but I have one more little surprise for Jennifer, and it's thanks to my dear friend Arlene Pollock. And I also post a link to your page as well, Arlene. But Arlene, thank you so much for this gift certificate. She is the best masseuse in the world. When I tell you, this girl has some life-changing hands when she massages you. She absolutely does. And so this is a 100-minute massage, custom style massage for you. Your life is going to be changed by the massage. I'm not even playing. I'm not even exaggerating. I'm not being biased. So, Arlene is that great. So that is for you.
Excited.
And I want to thank everybody for tuning in today. I have this awesome giveaway, and this giveaway is sponsored by Uniquely MC, and I want to make sure I'm saying that right. This is a beautiful flamingo bag that we have here, and it's a part of my giveaway for Conversation with Kelley. So all you have to do is like this video, subscribe to my YouTube channel, and share, and I'll put some more instructions on my Instagram channel, but like, share all my social media pages, and you'll be entered to win this wonderful flamingo purse. And again, let me make sure that I get her name right. It's by Uniquely MC. So again, Jennifer, thank you so much for joining me. Thank you everyone for watching. I also want to thank my wonderful production, which is today Arisha Farson. Did I say that right? Yay, I actually got a name right, you guys. So I want to thank Arisha for taking her time out to film, and for doing such a great job for Conversation with Kelley. Thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you later.